Hi again. So today I will show you how you can import the whole directory from the SFTP server or FTP server to Shopify. So here we have an SFTP server with some sample files. I have 3 files here, and I will copy URL to this folder, and I can go to Excelify app and I paste the path to this folder. Just notice the structure again. It's SFTP, then comes the username, and I need to add my password. It is a temporary password like this. See the colon, the password, then at server name slash my directory and the subdirectory, basically the full path to my directory. And to be very precise, put the slash at the end so that you know that this is a directory, right? Then you press upload from URL, and what Excelify does now, it actually recognizes that this is a directory on your SFTP server or FTP server, and it shows that it's a batch format. So it's a new kind of format in Excelify, and what it does, it just reads all the files that it recognizes from the SFTP server. You can see here are those files: data1, data2, and data3, the same as here. And it all, of course, it analyzes them and it calculates how many products and how many pages there are among all those files. And you could just press import and it would import it, but this feature is available only for enterprise or big plan customers. But I will demonstrate how you can set up the continuous import from this directory by monitoring it all the time. And so as soon as new files appear in this directory, it will import them to Shopify. For that, here in the import options, there is this drop down where you can choose what to do with the remote files when importing. You can choose to do nothing, so it will just import them, and since they will stay there, if you would import it again, then it would again import them. Maybe it's something you need, but maybe not. Or you could choose to delete the file from SFTP server, so once this import will run, it would delete those files. And as another way, you can choose to move files to directory by the import status. So for example, we can set here a specific directory where to move this file when the import is in progress, when it's finished, when it's failed, or when it's cancelled. And so you can basically write the full path here to these directories, but we are generating some sample directory names here. And so I will quickly create here all those directories. Oops. Okay, so now I have all those directories here, and I match those. Another thing, I can set it to upload results file also to the SFTP server, and I can just basically, I can copy the same server path, or I can send it to another SFTP server or FTP server if I want. And I will just put them also in the finished folder. I could actually create like a results folder or whatever I want, but for the sake of example, let's put the import results files in the same directory where the finished files will get moved. And for it to monitor all the time the same directory and grab the new files and always move them to whatever status directories there are, we set up this repeat every, for the sake of good example, I will set it to repeat every 1 minute forever, basically until cancelled. But maybe you don't want it to do it so often. Maybe you need to do it every once an hour, once 10 minutes, because each time it will create a new job, and then this new job will connect to the SFTP server, will check whether there are files, and if there will be files, it will import them automatically. Okay, and now I'm just pressing import, and it will start importing those. Okay, you see the job is working and it's importing those files one by one, and let's just wait for it to finish. It's important to note that it's importing those files in the alphabetical order as the files are, and it's importing them one by one so that the data comes in sequentially. And while the first one is importing, the others are waiting for previous ones to finish, and then it goes to the next one. Okay, so we can see that all the files are imported, and now if we go to our SFTP server, we see that the inbox is empty. In progress is also empty, and in the finished folder we see that here are all our free files and their import results. And so here in our job list you can see that there is a queued next import job which is about to start right now. So it's uploading, and of course it will not find any new files, so it will just finish without any files here. You see there's nothing. But again, if we go to the job list, we can see that there is next scheduled job, so it's scheduled to start in 1 minute again. Quickly I will grab one of the finished jobs and again put it into inbox so that we have something to import. Okay, now it's uploading again from that directory, and we see that there is this one file and it's being imported right now. And then it's finished. Yeah, the data one is copied here. Okay, and that way you see that again the next one is starting and another next is already scheduled after 1 minute and so on. So it continues infinitely, and that way you can automate your file imports if they are appearing by some automated process in the FTP or SFTP directory. And so of course if you want this to stop, then you can just press cancel for the most recent scheduled job, and it will just stop that thread of imports. Yeah, and the important thing to mention is that if, for example, you are importing some data and there are failed items inside this file, then it will still be treated as finished normally, because the file itself is recognized, it's imported, but just there are inside some failed items. So that's why you need to ideally check your import results, and also you can set up email notifications. But if there is a file that is completely wrong format, which Excelify, for example, is not recognizing, then it will get moved to the failed directory, so that you know that this file completely failed. And so yes, about those notifications here, in the settings you can set up, for example, whether to send to shop owner or to some additional email addresses the emails about, for example, you don't want any manual jobs, but you want scheduled job emails to be coming to your mailbox. So then you mark the checkboxes here and hit save. All right, if you have any questions, as always, you know how to reach us through Excelify homepage. Here is the contact us page, or you can search our knowledge base, tutorials, documentations, and of course here at the bottom there is a chat which is offline at night time but online during the working time. So feel free to contact us if you run into any issues or questions. See ya.